close out the weekend with one final taste of college hoops, and we do so with the defending champs holding serve. Mountain West Conference action is ready to tee off tonight with the UNLV Running Rebels going up against the Boise State Broncos. As we take a look at the conference standings right now, top to bottom, San Diego State currently is the leader of the pack, but Boise State right behind them sitting at 10-3, UNLV at 5-9. And we are live with Terrence Oglesby. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us tonight on FS1. And Terrence, we know one thing is for certain. It's hard to win a conference title, but it's another thing to defend that crown.
That's absolutely right. In the Mountain West, which is a league that's arguably as deep as it's ever been, Boise State has stayed towards the top. And the main reason, though, Mr. Dagerhart, he is somebody that can score from so many different spots on the floor. A matchup nightmare no matter who they play against.
Yeah, Tyson Dagerhart's been fantastic. Mountain West Conference freshman of the year a season ago. On the flip side of things, we look at what he does offensively. He does a lot of things inside and out with his game, doesn't he?
Well, he absolutely does. He can step out and hit the three. He's a terrific shooter from the perimeter. And on the inside, it's all footwork and hook shots, depending on who's guarding him. He goes bigger, he goes inside against smaller. He goes outside against bigger. He is really unique in how he can score.
And for UNLV, if they want to win here tonight, keep this game competitive until the closing seconds, E.J. Harkless has to be the go-to guy.
Well, he's a terrific scorer, and at 24 points a game over his last 5, he has been on fire, shooting the ball incredibly well from the perimeter. And when he does that, he's so difficult to guard because he's so shifty with the basketball as well.
You see the series history, 16 up and 10 down for Boise State. They've won the last 6 matchups between these two squads as the opening tip-off control, but the road team and UNLV will be moving from left to right. Great atmosphere here tonight in ExtraMile Arena. Terrence, I know it's your first time here, but the vibe in here has been tremendous.
Well, student and fan support is awesome so far, expecting little over 10,000 people. Nice move to start out this game, Mr. Milwaukee.
Going for the first 2 tonight, UNLV with a 2-0 advantage.
Dunker finisher, but nice footwork and balance working in the post, and that's an excellent pass.
Backdoor feed to Abo. Beautiful dime, though, from Dagenhart.
And you're going to look at conflicting styles today for a Boise State team that really thrives on ball movement and player movement, while UNLV, on the other hand, has some terrific playmakers with the ball in their hands. A little bit more isolation play in the half court for the Running Rebels.
Yeah, we'll get into the analytics as this night goes along, but a couple of things that you had spotlighted, Terrence, was the defensive efficiency of Boise State this season. That shot's off the mark, no good. Rice with the defensive rebound, and back comes Boise State. Boise State not an up and down team. They like to play that half-court set. Dagenhart for 3. No good. Harkless with the defensive rebound for the Running Rebels. Spacers, Keyshawn Gilbert. Gilbert and Harkless both in double-digit scoring the other night for UNLV. That loss, though, to San Jose State, a troubling one, 75-66. They got off on the right note to open up the season 10-0, but since they did conference play, it's been tough sledding. That shot outside is a beautiful one from Justin Webster to 5-2 advantage for UNLV.
Mr. Webster from distance. But you alluded to some of their struggles. It seems like everybody this year is dealing with some sort of injury, one or another. This UNLV team dealing without 2 of their starters to start out the season tonight.
It goes on, especially once you get into the conference tournament. Boise State a season ago won the regular season title and then won the tournament outright. 3 to go in the shot clock, 2 to go. Shaver off balance, that won't go, but a couple free throws heading his way. Take a peek over on the other side of things with Leon Rice. I would say he's got a lot of energy. We spoke to him earlier today, and he was all smiles.
A lot of energy, and to be honest with you, not a care in the world, it seemed like. His team is extremely competitive, 20-6 on the season. You see it on the screen, 10 20-win seasons here in Boise, and loves where he's at. And sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And he alluded to that fact today whenever we spoke to him. It's a great place to be. This Boise town embraces their school. And he says a lot about, hey, I'm winning here. I found a way to succeed. Why would I go anywhere else?
I think the biggest element to what he said was the administration supports him. I mean, you can't have a successful program without that kind of support. Shaver knocks down both free throws. Not a great road team this season. That three-pointer on the way is no good from Noel. Offensive rebound, though, by UNLV. A little bit of a shocker because Boise State's the best rebounding team in the Mountain West. Here's Harkless. Had to take a shot so far. Harkless, dump underneath. Mwaka, patient, approaching. That shot deflected on the way up. Kept though, alive. And E.J. Harkless scores his first points of the game.
Well, what are we talking about? A little fadeaway from 15 feet? Mr. Harkless. And that's kind of where the problem is. Whenever you play UNLV, you can have a great defensive possession, and it doesn't matter because they have so many tough shot makers.
Hart, almost about 15 points per game. Shaver trying to attack. That shot's blocked. Here comes UNLV in transition. Harkless attacking, splitting two defenders. A little bit too strong on it, no good. Back in transition was Boise State. Shaver goes up. That shot is rejected. Here comes Harkless trying to keep it and save it. It's a bad possession right there. Keyshawn Gilbert trying to feed him, just a little bit too strong on that pass. Rice lines it up for three. That one never had a chance. Off balance, though. Back to Shaver. To Rice. To the corner. Smith the first time tonight. That one rims in and out. No good. Harkless will settle things down for UNLV.
And sometimes you're not going to make shots to open up the game, but I like the shots that Boise State's getting here early in the contest. Why? The ball's popping, they're penetrating, defense is collapsing, and they're finding guys for open looks, and eventually those are going to start to fall down.
Harkless body contact, a defensive foul that will go against Dagenhart, and you got about 11,000 inside the building that do not agree with that call.
Yeah, not thrilled with it, but I think it was the right call by the official. Dagenhart getting over, trying to take the charge, but at the same time still sliding sideways. But Mwaka and E.J. Harkless, how about that shot? They block the shot, he grabs a carom and is able to turn around and finish.
Dagenhart, that's his first. Here's Gilbert. Gilbert averaging about 12.5 points per game this season. Trying to go baseline, sweet move underneath. A little bit of English on it.
Just relentless in how they attack the basket, and they go after Whiting, a freshman that's coming fresh off, well, I guess not fresh off a Mormon mission anymore. I mean, we're towards the end of the season, but sometimes it takes a while for those guys to adjust. Coach Rice emphasized to us how much he likes this young man, number 15, because of his work ethic and his skill level. Local kid.
Who was outside. Whistle and a foul before the shot occurred. They'll go against Keyshawn Gilbert. So it's a good start for UNLV. Right now sitting at 5-9 in conference play, but up by 5, 15-24 to go here in the opening half. A little cold outside, but we're warming up inside the arena, ExtraMile arena that is. 9-5, UNLV has the advantage. And Terrence, we want to get into some of your keys for this contest tonight.
Well, there's a few things. If you're UNLV, you got to take off, play with pace. They're one of the fastest teams in this league, but communication is key defensively against a Boise State team that really moves the basketball and really screens well. If you're Boise State, limit live ball turnovers. UNLV gets out and run, it's trouble, and screen to score. They're one of the best screening teams in all of college basketball. Dagenhart in particular, that's how he gets a lot of his points, and his average is so high because he does his early work in an offense.
Fantastic last season, and now duplicating the feat here in the sophomore campaign. Whiting, nice bounce pass on the weak side to Milner, his first 2 points of the affair.
I like it. Mr. Whiting turning down the ball screen. Get into that paint, make that guy come over. Nice pass and finish.
And the good with UNLV this season, 75 points per game that they're averaging, but they're hemorrhaging almost 70 a clip. Drastically different body of work for Boise State. Harkless, that shot front iron, volleyed around. Milner will control it for Boise State.
And that has a lot to do with pace, right?
Yeah.
You're going to score more if you're trying to play faster, shoot shots earlier in the shot clock. And by the time the end of the game is, it's 3 or 4 more. And Mr. Rice from deep.
Lots of range there. I think that was an ode to Damian Lillard or Steph Curry. That thing was from about 28 feet out. It was good. We're 9 up.
Rice, the son of Leon Rice. Nice player. Reminds me of Matt Bolden, who Coach Rice loved that whenever I compared to him. A guy that he coached at Gonzaga. Same game, same physical profile. Has a lot of the same features as well.
And Coach Rice might be in a little bit of trouble, too, because if Boise State wins tonight, Max Wright has a good game, they drove together to the arena.
I like it. A little ball movement, father-son action from deep. Daddy likes that one, I can guarantee it.
Nice Rice this season, averaging about 13.5 points per game. Only had 7 in that contest against Colorado State in 33 minutes. 7 points on 3 of 9 shooting from outside. Just 1 of 2 from downtown. 3 to go in the shot clock here. That's a bad possession for UNLV. That shot on the way. It's no good off the mark. McCabe pulling the trigger on that. Back comes Boise State looking for their first advantage of the evening. Rice, mismatch there in size, and made him pay for it. McCabe is only 6 foot tall, and Rice at 6'5". The advantage, all Boise State, and that's a turnover for the Runner Rebels.
And how about that? You turn around, you're not expecting pressure. You sneak back and force one. But Max Rice, his game is a little bit deceiving. On film, he looks like he's 6'3", 6'4". You get in person, this guy's 6'5" and can really score in a multitude of ways. Kind of has an unorthodox game, dribbles the ball a little high, but I mean, finds ways to be effective.
Take a look right there at Kevin Kruger, who we have a relationship with. You know him quite well.
Played together with Coach Kruger in Italy for a team that neither one of us got paid. So if you want stories, talk to Coach Kruger. He'll give you plenty.
You said it. I kind of dipped into it earlier during shoot-around. Here's Dagenhart with 6 to go in the shot clock. Dagenhart, nice finesse. Back iron, though, no good. It's a defensive rebound. Waco. Back comes UNLV. McCabe looking for a little separation there. Shuffles over to Johnson. Jackie Johnson, the third. And hesitation move. The southpaw pulls the trigger and hits it.
Nice move. Patience, getting into the middle of that floor. But if you're Boise State, that's a shot that you like, right? Smaller guy getting into about 14 to 16 feet. He elevates that. You're willing to take it. And I like this offensive set. Mr. Whiting takes it on himself, though.
Hesitation move. That shot was blocked by Waco. And back comes UNLV again.
Nice pass.
Keyshawn Hall into the corner. McCabe, a 3, got it.
McCabe, the transfer from West Virginia. I will say this about, he's always been a pass-first guy, but this season has really improved his shooting from beyond the arc. I mean, led the Mountain West last season in assist-to-turnover ratio. He's the safe bet to handle the rock, but if he's shooting the ball well, that really helps as well.
Young in the game with that touch. Dagenhart, the bounce pass to Milner, and the whistle and a foul underneath.
Like the aggressiveness, you're getting downhill in transition. That's where they're best. Nice pass. Hold that follow through, young fella, and finish. Jordan McCabe showing off his range.
Falls against Keyshawn Hall. So Boise State, who has had a great deal of success throughout Leon Rice's tenure here at ExtraMile Arena, winning percentage at home is over 80. A lot of winning. Rice goes up. McCabe hacked him across the right arm. McCabe didn't like it. Boise State, Max Rice will take it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Dave. I didn't like it. I thought McCabe had good position. He was straight up and down, maintained his verticality. I thought Max Rice jumped into him. But regardless, you're going to give up some of those fouls when you're giving up that big of a height discrepancy. Max Rice is a nice player. I mean,
it's fascinating because you look at the productivity from last season to this year. It's one thing if you can make that step by seeing a lot of minutes, but Max didn't have that last year. And now here in a brand new campaign, it's like he's playing with the world on fire.
Coach Leon Rice, he made the statement, in games that Max played more than 20 minutes, they were 20-2 last year. He said, I was being hard on my own son for no reason. I think I got to get my man in the game more. And apparently it's paid huge dividends. Max can really play. Live ball turnovers, forget about it.
Shaver on the clean break. McCabe can't catch up. We're locked up at 14 again.
UNLV is prone to turning the basketball over. Boise State, not a team to get up in the passing lanes. They're more going to play position defense. It's a good call off the ball.
Foul's going to be underneath against Kobe Young.
I like it when you get up and you pressure the basketball to force some turnovers. Boise State is starting to thrive in that area of the floor. Get out of passing lanes, a little mishap. Mr. Shaver, he'll finish. Boise State has battled back into it.
Under 12 minutes to go in this opening half. 14-14 is the score. And that man, Marcus Shaver, doing a little bit of history tonight. Terrence, 1,000 points in climbing now. 33rd player in program history to eclipse that mark.
Good for him. Started his career at Portland. Played for Mike Bibby in high school at Shadow Mountain High School. close to Phoenix. This is a guy, if you want to learn from somebody, Mike Bibby's a good man to do that from, an all-time really good NBA point guard. But Mr. Shaver, Mr. Reliable for this team, right? Somebody that organizes their offense. Sometimes you wish you could be a little more efficient, but at the same time, he's somebody, that's a big-time shot. He's somebody that settles this team down and gets them in the right spots. And old point guard play wins at the college level. Broncos certainly have that.
You had that reputation at Clemson, right? Settling the offense down?
I was a fairly erratic fellow, but I love that pass. Great look and finish. Degenhart over the shoulder.
It helps when you're 6'7", getting those feeds, and Degenhart making quick work underneath. Abo's going to come in at the next break. Kuzmanovic also will sit next to him for a brief moment. Johnson and Gilbert. Jackie trying to line up Rice. No separation. Noel spots up for three and drains it.
Mr. Noel not shy. Nice looking lefty finish. Penetrating kick. He's always moving off the basketball. When Degenhart's guarding him, sometimes you have that speed advantage to get to spots quicker, follow through and finish.
UNLV not shying away from the element tonight here in Boise. Shaver wide open, lets it fly.
That's a big-time shot. Don't go under the ball screens on Mr. Shaver. Over the last 5 games, 35% from beyond the arc. A lot off the bounce.
Well, high arcing from McCabe. Couldn't get the fall, though. Bounced around. Smith and Shaver were fighting for it. It goes right back to UNLV. Runner Rebels with 3 turnovers so far in this contest, but they've been working the glass nicely. Corner 3 on the way. That's a bullet from Noel. Back-to-back triples for Shane.
Man, Shane getting busy. He got a start. He's feeling good. One from the right 45, the other from the corner. That was a terrific pass, too, by Jordan McCabe. Baseline drive, baseline drift.
Degenhart, southpaw style, no good. Bouncing around and goes right to Noel. He's been all over the place so far. Runner Rebels 4 for 8 from distance. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Noel, and Shane tapping himself.
Marcus Shaver, we talked about why he scored so many points. Comes off a ball screen. You can't go underneath on that guy. Lines it up, fires away, forget about it. And on the other end, a little penetrating kick. This was an excellent pass by McCabe, who got bumped. But Shane Noel gets the start, feeling good, fires away. 3 more.
6 points so far. Noel the other night in that loss to San Jose State only had 7 in 22 minutes. Abo, nice cut. Ball fake once and twice. That shot's blocked and rejected. Mwaka, that 3-pointer on the way. Kuzmanovic, that one hit the backboard, and that was it.
How good has Mwaka been to start this game? Ooh, tough pass.
Kuzmanovic, though, some good hustle. The pass was intended for Webster. The defense, though, from the Runner Rebels.
David Mwaka, I mean, he makes so much happen because of his size and athleticism. That's 4 block shots for the big fella from Hong Kong, somebody who can really protect the rim at a high level.
Fascinating figures for UNLV defensively. 14-0 this season when they hold opponents under 72 points a game. And number 1 in the nation in turnover margin. Attacking. Smith might have gotten a piece of it. Back comes Boise State. Down by 3. This 3-pointer from Abu's on the way, drawn back iron. McCabe with the defensive rebound, and UNLV content on slowing things down.
I was about to say, pace of play very much favoring the Running Rebels because they do like to get out and push it and make the game a little bit sloppy. But they are getting what they want in the half court so far. This man right here, Mr. Harkless, always in attack mode.
This body contact, shot won't fall down. However, a couple free throws heading his way. Smith with the defensive foul. Boise State has missed their last 5 shots. UNLV has connected in 5 of their last 7. So the trend going right for one team, that's the road team, and the other not so much. And Boise State, that's kind of the interesting thing with Leon Rice's club, right? Where they can shoot great and their defense will bail them out even late in contests. And in other instances, they won't hit anything and their defense still continues to stand tall.
Well, you look at how many different ways that they can beat you, right? And the fact that they're making you take tough shots consistently. Like even E.J. Harkless on that shot, he spins away. If you maintain your composure, your discipline. He's not sitting at the free throw line right now because most of the time they're in the right spots at the right time.
Harkless 79% from the charity stripe this season. It's the second. And, for Kevin Kruger, this is, for all intents and purposes, a brand new team. And you figure the offensive firepower that he lost last year, he brings in Harkless from Oklahoma. That's going to be a carryover from Smith. But to put a little button on that for Kruger, along with new personnel, he's got a brand new coaching staff as well.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough all the way around. And I was shocked at how much leeway he gave them, considering they are a new coaching staff and a brand new roster with a lot of old guys, which certainly helps. But they lose some bodies for this game. And earlier, that's a grown man move right there.
250 pounds using that separation against Smith.
Hall just has he's so versatile. And at 240, 250 pounds, like, he can do a lot of different things with the basketball to score. Shaver can't too.
That back off the mark, no good. Back comes UNLV. Broncos in a little bit of a drought. And here is McCabe to Harkless. Harkless has got hung up in the air, recovers. Outside, Webster pulls the trigger, no good. Iwako fighting for it against Shaver, he wins it. Right now, UNLV is +5 in the rebounding category, but is still there. It's a 4th turnover of the ball game for UNLV, and the fans getting excited. Abo with a hand in his face for 3, way too strong there. Iwako with the defensive rebound. Back comes McCabe. It's a 7-0 run for UNLV and a 7-point advantage.
That ball needs to pop a little bit more for Boise State. It's one pass and shot. Drive, one pass and shot. Whenever they're moving from side to side and screening well, they're getting whatever they want. Here in the early going, however, being a little too quick on the trigger.
Trying to use his speed and his size again against Smith. That one no good. Kuzmanovic in transition. Thought about it. Smith trying to flush. It gets Hall. And Hall says, no way. Not on my dollar.
He tried him, didn't he? Unbelievable. UNLV is controlling this game for the most part, though.
Keyshawn Hall doing his thing on the offensive end and trying to retaliate defensively. UNLV up by 7. Seven-point advantage for the road team. UNLV 26-19 over Boise State. I hate dating us, Terrence, but it's February the 19th. March is right around the corner.
Happened quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
This season got going quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if you start looking at tournament resumes, Boise State, they should be right in the mix. It's a quad 1 win against Texas A&M. Those 3 and 4 losses, especially when you look at the metrics, they kill you. You look at other teams around the country, like, you might have 2 or 3 quad 1 wins, but you have to exceed what you're doing in that 3 and 4 department. It's tough. It's tough.
Brought a little emotion out of Leon Rice earlier today during the shoot around.
it.
We mentioned the quad 1 and quad 2 victories. I mean, keep in mind, Boise State this season is 11-1 at home, and their lone loss was game number 1 against South Dakota State.
Right.
They played better.
Hey, you don't have to convince me that the net is not a great match.
Yeah.
So, like, I've never once, and me and you talked about this early today, I've never once talked to a coach that said, hey, I hope we win by 10 today.
Right.
Winning's hard enough.
Smith with the steal, and that'll be a foul.
Hey, I like this, though. You mix it up a little bit. The gym lacks a little bit of energy. Get out and pressure some. Create a turnover. Get the people involved. Najee Smith, I mean, he's got a lot of length up there at the top of that press. He's able to create a turnover.
And for Gilbert, that's his 2nd foul. It's bonus time right now for Boise State. They got 6.5 minutes and some change here in this opening half. Smith hits the first free throw, now of 2. 68% free throw shooter on the year. He had a nice evening a couple days ago against Colorado State. He had 17 points on 5 of 7 from the field, but also perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe.
Played with Max Rice on the AAU circuit for the Washington Supreme. They love his effort level, his length, his activity. And I love what Boise State's doing right now. You're just mixing up the game a little bit. Make UNLV think a little bit more than what they have been here in the early going.
Try to get underneath their jersey and make them uncomfortable. It'll be a traveling call against Webster. Webster's asking for some help, but you look at Kevin Kruger on the opposing side. He's got a Rather confused look on his face. That's putting it mildly.
I think a good word is quizzical. Not happy. You got to put that ball down. I don't love that call. I don't love that call. But regardless, Boise State starting to pick it up on the defensive end.
Milner's back out there, along with Max Rice. Shot clock winding down. It's at 5. Abo blew a tire and he traveled.
The ball's sticking, right? Like they're trying, but it's staying on one side of the floor for Boise State. Change sides of the floor, run your offense, make that help side move a little bit, and then those driving lanes are going to come open.
But is that communication from Leon Rice, or does that have to be localized on the court?
Well, there's something to be said about him trusting his guys to get them in the right set. Yeah. And if you're going to play some motion-based things, that's good defense. Mr. Smith is really bothering the ball handler. I like his energy. Najee Smith really bringing the heat. But this UNLV team, I mean, they are prone to some turnovers because of the style in which they play. Just one-on-one, and they're going to make something happen. But you know, Boise State so far hasn't really made it all that uncomfortable.
Webster off the screen. And here's Harkless with the basketball. Inside this three-pointer on the way from Noel. Shot blocked. Back in transition underneath hoop. Smith will collect it. Good ball movement. Max Rice trying to let it fly. He does. A little bit too strong on it.
This building is ready to explode, Dave.
They've been wanting to for quite a while. It's body contact. Officials say play on, fellas. And so they do. Oh, my. I'll tell you what. The continuation is one thing, but the muscle to get it up and then down is another. Or more push-ups from Najee Smith.
And that's a strong move by a strong man. You get up and going in transition. Look at that. A little scoop and finish. Give that man a free throw.
Well, the fans on their feet here at ExtraMile Arena, and for good reason. 5 minutes to play here in this opening half, and Najee Smith against Iwako.
He's changed the game himself. I mean, deflections, when the full court press, not a trap per se, but just active hands, getting out, blocking shots, and then he's igniting the break. For a Boise State team that has struggled scoring in the half court so far, he's opening the game up and changing this game with his effort level.
Take another look at what went down after the sequence from Webster trying to draw that body contact. We'll see if they give Shaver a block shot, but nevertheless, Boise State was out and running.
How about Najee Smith? 6'7", 210, an up and under, and a nap as a reward.
You have a great sense of college basketball from coast to coast, and you've seen a lot of talent. ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the Mountain West, the Pac-12, so on and so forth. But you mentioned at the top of the show about Boise State and the potential of going as a Sweet 16 team.
I agree with yeah.
What has made you say that?
Well, I think size at the guard positions, Shaver being in his 6th year of college basketball. So you're old at the point guard spot. You have shooting with Rice and Dagenhart. You have athletes that can guard. Abo is a terrific defender. Leon Rice has a lot of tools in his tool shed, and they can beat you in different ways. And they're remarkably consistent in their defensive effort. One of the best defensive teams in the country by all metrics.
And there's a certain team down in Southern California, San Diego State Aztecs, will like to deliver an argument there as that shot was partially blocked, but Noel was hacked on the way up. Look at a couple of free throws coming his way. That foul.
Like that aggressiveness by Mr. Noel.
Milner's foul. It's his first.
Getting downhill. Milner, if your feet aren't set, you have to maintain your verticality. Comes down with that right arm. It's going to be a foul every time. Shane Noel's come out aggressive and played well.
Trying to attack, successfully doing so as he misses the first free throw or two. Noel this season, not great at the free throw line, just 67% on the campaign. A transfer from Arizona. That's an interesting element with UNLV this season. I mean,
a lot of really good transfers.
A ton. If you think about it, they have 10 upperclassmen, but they've only had 6 returners to this active roster, and they have 6 transfers. 9 newcomers for Kevin Kruger. learning these players, learning their names, learning their attitudes, how to manage them, how to coach them, and then try to win.
Shane Noel himself, I mean, that was a top 75 kid coming out of high school. He has a lot of talent. You go to Arizona, I mean, there's not a whole lot of mistakes, but sometimes some of these highly rated kids, they go into the wrong system for them, and they try to find new homes. And Noel, if he's playing as he is today, I mean, you have to love it.
But it's been all about trying to be consistent for UNLV. They'll have those times where they look great.
That's a good call.
Other times not so much. That'll be a hook against Najee Smith. You saw it right away.
Yeah, that's a good call. The hook and hold, just trying to get around and maintain his dribble. Goes baseline. Smith, he's been aggressive. He's brought his energy. Nice little in and out. I'm not sure he even needed it to get there. But the ball's staying on one side of the floor. David, like, that ball needs to start swinging a little bit more for Boise State so they can find some open shots. It's baseline drive, pitch back out, drive to the same spot, and then replace. Second and third side offense would do Boise State a lot of good.
Another turnover here. That's now 9 turnovers in this contest for UNLV. Abo, hesitation. That shot drawn back iron. Extra possession here, though, for Boise State. Ball into the corner. Three-pointer from Degenhardt.
Forget about it. Abo, terrific pass. Degenhardt, he knows what to do in the corner. Such a matchup nightmare, no matter who they play. Big, strong guy, big, wide shoulders, holds people off, but he's knocking down shots. Really, really difficult to guard.
Broncos with the advantage at a mere 2. And fans lively here. Webster trying to counter. Yes.
Tell him to hush, Mr. Webster. Comes off a flare screen, sets his feet, and fires. Nice screen on the backside to get the young man open.
Broncos.
It's not an easy shot.
No, not at all. Not at all, but a turnover and a takeaway. McCabe in transition. Three-pointer on the way. That one's drawn back iron, no good. Shaver in transition the other way for Boise State. They have numbers. Rice trying to make it back-to-back. No, that one's no good either. Broncos have only had the lead once at 29-27. It's been all UNLV. They've controlled tempo, the pace. The only thing they have not done is taking care of the basketball great.
Been a role reversal. I was coming into this game expecting Boise State to slow it down, run offense, get shots out of the half court. They've been the team playing fast. UNLV running this wheel action, getting open shots consistently. Max Rice, he's too strong for you, sir. Get off that man, he'll finish.
Shed a little 5 there. And scored 2. Boise State back out in front by 1. It's been dirty. It's been ugly at times, but all in all, good old-fashioned street fight. Mountain West Conference action. What do you expect? Boise State and UNLV right now. Broncos with a 1-point lead, 31-30. More to come on the other side. Gone are the days of a one-bid team in the Mountain West Conference. UNLV, Boise State right now near the end of the first half, 31-30. With March around the corner, Terrence, there's going to be a handful of teams, if you're a Mountain West Conference fan, hopefully getting into the NCAA tournament. But you see Utah State, New Mexico, they have some work to do once the tournament hits.
Well, they absolutely do. New Mexico was one of the surprise teams in all the country, starting out the season 14-0. Since then, dropped off a little bit. They looked like a surefire tournament team at the beginning of the season, but I mean, still some work to do, as you mentioned. But the good thing is, in this league, there are still opportunities to get quality wins heading into the tournament.
And how about the recovery yesterday from Utah State? They were getting hammered by Nevada at home. They were down by 21 at one point in that contest, and then all of a sudden they came back and beat the Wolfpack. So the Aggies continue to do things. They won that game 75-66. Shot clock winding down here. It's a bad possession for UNLV. Down to 4, down to 3, off bounds for Webster. Front iron, that's controlled by Abo. And now we have a whistle. The officials, what's on the deck?
I think something fell off one of the players' jerseys.
At least it wasn't a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I think the referee would have just pointed at it.
Maybe kicked it your way?
Yep. I'm wildly intrigued by the role reversal today. I mean, Boise State playing exceedingly fast, shooting early in the clock. UNLV taking their time.
Shaver straight away. That's off the mark. Walker with a defensive rebound for UNLV. Try and get this advantage back for them. Harkless, little two-man game here. Less than 90 to go. Backdoor feed, and that shot will not count. Whistle occurred before that. But you see Harkless, his game, I mean, it's one thing to create some separation, but he draws a ton of body contact.
Does, and he plays slow enough, and I think that's the biggest thing for young college players. They come into the college game, they feel like everything has to be fast. The older some of these guys get, the slower they go. It's just that initial step to get you to spots. Harkless good at that. He's also good at 15 feet.
That is pure from E.J. Harkless, averaging just a hair over 18 points per game. A two-time transfer from CSUN to Oklahoma and now to UNLV.
Be honest, it's UNLV's defense. Most notably, David Mwaka, the big fella, number 12, guarding the ball right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he has changed the game with his activity level.
Rice from the elbow. That one was good. No closeout there for UNLV. So back and forth we go. Shaver trying to swipe that away at the last second. And that's going to be another turnover as it goes off the running Rebels. And I tell you what, Keyshawn Gilbert a little disgusted with that call. Halftime report, Rob Stone, LaVar Jordan.
Hey, somebody in the studio, tell LaVal he still can't guard me. I mean, I know he was a big-time head coach, and he's excellent now. What a move.
Shaver going up.
But LaVal's not guarding the kid. I think that's important we mention before we get to break. But Shaver, goodness, the athleticism on him getting downhill.
So let's say before tip-off, you had a message for LaVal, right?
Yep, that's right. He needs to be ready to go at the Final Four when I see him down there. Look at the athleticism and explosion by Shaver. My goodness, not the biggest guy on the floor, but you give him a head of steam. That's tough. Ironically enough, not a foul called on that one. Milner able to clean up the mess.
Milner saw about 21 minutes worth of action against Colorado State the other night. 5 points and 5 rebounds. Making his 26th appearance of the season. He started 3 times. That's the one thing with Leon Rice is starting 5 has only changed once.
And there's a lot of good to that. Guys know their role. And you know what to expect coming in the game. You know when you're going to enter the game. That's a big thing. Sometimes, you know, a whole lot of variability there is not good for a player who's trying to get into the flow of an offense or into the flow of what the team's doing.
Certainly the case. Harkless in the corner. Harkless with 9 to go on the shot clock. Hits the deck, tied up, loose ball, some change. Degenhardt has it. Foul on the deck, though.
Made it awkwardly.
Yeah, you see Rice grabbing that right knee.
Quite sure what happened. This was great awareness. But he reaches and grabs his right knee. It can't be more than just him falling with his knee on the ground. Didn't look like there was anything.
It looked like a pretty good tackle from E.J. Harkless.
If he was playing quarterback, I think it would have been fine.
Well,
can't do that, though.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles could have used a little bit of that a few days ago.
There's a lot of people hurt by that statement. A lot of people hurt by that statement.
Well, nobody in Kansas City has a problem with it. They ran up and down against those Eagles.
I think they're going to take a look and see if this is a flagrant one.
You look at the right arm from Harkless. Right?
Necessary contact. You'll see he loses the dribble, dives on the ball. And you'll see this right arm grab right there on the knee.
Officials tonight, Mike Reed, Gregory Nixon, Nate Harris getting together at half court, and they will come and hang out with you, exchange some pleasantries.
We're going to have an F1 on E.J. Harkless.
It's a little bit of frustration from Harkless.
An unnecessary contact committed by a player against an opponent. I think that qualifies, right? I mean, grabbing that right knee of Max Rice. It's a pretty easy call by the official. So now free throws and the ball back for Boise State.
And Rice has been fantastic this season from the free throw line, 91% on the campaign.
You have to applaud Rice, too, how he's attacked this game. I mean, he's got 12 so far, missed his first 2 threes and decided, hey, I'm going to attack the rim a little bit and use my size. 12 here in the first half. I mean, you see the different ways he can score.
He's picked on Jordan McCabe a couple times, especially, as you mentioned, down the block. Final 10 seconds to go in this opening half. Boise State with a 5-point lead, looking to extend it. Rice, some space, pulls the trigger, and that one's off the mark. Milner trying to fight for that rebound. And a loose ball foul underneath. Nwaka, the guilty party.
I love it. Milner attacking the offensive glass, changing the game with his effort. He's going to be rewarded with a free throw. Excuse me, couple free throws. That was a shot to the moon. Shot that really high, try to get off, but Milner, 6'10", soft touch, misses that one. But knows his role coming off the bench, right, David? Somebody who's going to come out, be physical, play hard. Not going to overexert himself offensively, but impact the game with his effort.
Yeah, the final second of this first half, and for Milner trying to go 1 for 2, and he does. So easy points at the end. Webster a heave-ho from nearly 3/4 court. That one off the mark. So it was not an easy first half of basketball for Boise State, but they held tight, came close, closed out the first half with a 7-0 run.
Yeah, they were terrific, and it was all spearheaded by their defensive intensity. Really, really good for Boise State.
Max Rice with 12 points so far, leading all scorers in this contest. Boise State, the defending Mountain West Conference champs, doing their part. And in the first half, they have a 6-point lead at 38-32. Back here at halftime right now, Boise State with a narrow advantage over UNLV. Conference play continuing on a Sunday night, 38-32 is the score. Boise State, they've won 6 straight against UNLV. As we're courtside now, Terrence Oglesby, I'm David Gascon. Thanks for hanging out with us here on FS1. Terrence, it was an interesting first half of basketball. Not what you expected from UNLV.
No, not at all, but they were really sharp with the basketball, creating some plays in the half court. I was expecting them to run up and down a little bit more, but really executing in the half court early.
So what did you like from the Runner Rebels early on?
Well, they were getting into the lane and they were pitching out, and they weren't turning the basketball over. They were really knocking down shots from the perimeter, getting down in that paint and knocking it down from distance. Jordan McCabe, he got in on the action, but Shea Noel really caught fire. A guy who got the start today knocking it down, but Max Rice on the other side for Boise State was absolutely terrific. He was scoring in the post. Little spin move there, up and over. That's a strong man, too. Get off me, sir. I'll finish that one up and over the top. A little mid-range Jimmy as well right here. But scoring 3-level scores, that's what Max Rice was today in the first half. He's been terrific.
Yeah, Max Rice playing with a good attitude here tonight for Boise State, trying to pick up things from the inside out. You see the numbers right now for the Broncos. They don't look good at all, but they have the advantage. So what does that tell you?
Well, it's all been points off turnovers. Towards the end of the half, the last 8 minutes of the first half, they changed up what they were doing defensively, got up and pressured a little bit more, created some more turnovers. That's why they're back up in this game.
The young and the old coming together here tonight in Boise, Idaho. Broncos with a 6-point lead over the Running Rebels. Second half is about to get underway. Fans in the building, ExtraMile Arena, rocking tonight. 38-32 is the score. Broncos with a narrow advantage. Terrence, we go back to your keys to this contest earlier on. A couple of things you highlighted for both programs. How they fared so far?
Well, to be honest with you, UNLV has communicated well in the half court. They've played good defense, but the pace has kind of gone the other direction. But for Boise State, limiting live ball turnovers. And their pace has kind of gone the other direction, but for Boise State, limiting live ball turnovers. And their
So adjustments, if you are UNLV and Kevin Kruger, what do you need to do to climb back in this thing?
I think offensively, just get a shot up at the rim. Don't turn the basketball over. I mean, ball movement, second side offense is crucial. That's good defense right there. And Milwaukee, you have to know who you're playing against. Degenhart, that's what he's able to do. You take 2 dribbles in, you're going to have to make a move. Anytime the big fella takes 3 dribbles, your percentages as a 5 drop dramatically. You need to make a decision within 2 dribbles if you catch it within 8 feet, or else you're susceptible to turnovers.
And speaking of turnovers, back-to-back possessions for Boise State. They've given up the rock and back the other way, plus the foul. Tell you what, attack mode for UNLV as Keyshawn Gilbert took it coast to coast.
Limiting live ball turnovers, that's UNLV at their finest. Look at this, if you're Abo, go up there and contest that shot. I think he tried to stay out of the way, but I mean, if you're going to get a foul, go up there and at least try to discourage the attempt. Gilbert, long arms, nice finish. He's good in the open floor.
Yeah, for Gilbert the other night against San Jose State. 10 points in that loss. Along with E.J. Harkless, the only 2 players for UNLV that were in double digits scoring is the lob feed to Degenhart. Degenhart getting shoved out a couple feet. Degenhart's an interesting character. You go from a freshman to a sophomore, your productivity's gone up, but he did a lot of work in the offseason. He added some weight, 10 pounds to be exact, so it does a lot for a player of his size, right?
Well, it certainly does, and you see he has got about 30 pounds on Noel, who's an excellent athlete, but just struggles maintaining position in the post when having to guard him there.
Abo down low in the block. A double team came for a brief moment. A little step back short on it, though. A defensive rebound for UNLV. And back they come in Noel. Noel played clean basketball in the opening half. We had 7 points, a couple from downtown, tacking to the cup, and a foul underneath. Again, UNLV not selling for the outside shot like they did in the opening half here in the second.
Been exceedingly aggressive getting to the cup, and Gilbert has opened up this half. Playing with pace, getting out in the open floor. And when you're playing against Boise State, because their half-court defense is so good, one of the 10 best defenses in the country according to KenPom, if you can attack them in the first 6 or 7 seconds, their defense isn't set and they're not in position. That's what Gilbert saw. A little bit of a scramble situation. He's able to gather a head of steam and draw the foul.
How do you read the analytics these days? Because a lot of these things you can look at. We talked about quad 1, quad 2, quad 3 earlier in the affair, but you know, the KenPom analytics tell you one thing with Boise State's defensive efficiency, but there's other things you've dug deep into that tell you something completely different.
Well, the wild thing about Boise State's defense is they're top 10 defense in the country, but they're dead last in the Mountain West in both block percentage and steal percentage. So what does that tell you? They're terrific in their defensive positioning, and they make you take tough shots. They rebound and they run. Najee Smith not able to make it fall, but if you play against them in the half court, so difficult.
They go off and run does UNLV. And a scoop, I'll tell you what, try to keep that possession's Harkless.
My goodness.
Webster backdoor feed, plus the foul. Degenhart, the guilty party on that one.
And they're not playing against a set defense. So we talk about Boise State's defense. How does UNLV combat that? They play early in the offense. They're not playing against set defense. But Noel, the beneficiary, E.J. Harkless, aggressive, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, basically. Could have been called out of bounds, almost falls there. And then they just continue attacking. UNLV, early in this second half, doing a nice job of, I guess the right word is mucking up the game, making it dirty, a little ugly. That's where their athleticism can flourish in the open floor.
Noel's free throws off the mark. Noel, though, with 9 points, 3 of 7 from the field, in just 16 minutes worth of action. And all scores for the Running Rebels so far. Max Rice has 12 for Boise State. Degenhart's got 5 of his own. Tyson trying to set things up down on the block into the key, got moved around by Noel.
So here's the thing, if you're Noel and you're having to play post defense, stay straight up, be physical. You have a guy behind you in Milwaukee who's already blocked 4 shots this game. Let him come over and help you whenever Degenhart goes up to the rim. Maintain your discipline, guard with your chest. If he's a little stronger than you find, rely on your help side coming over.
Noel had to grab the seat. He's got 3 personal fouls in this contest, so he'll sit for quite a bit.
And let me be clear.
Yes, please.
As a guy who relied heavily on his help side, I know where it's coming from.
And with Milwaukee behind you, I played with a guy named Trevor Booker, who played in the NBA for a long time. I knew he was behind me, so I could get beat on occasion, right? So I had to know where my help side was, or else I wasn't guarding anybody. I didn't guard anybody anyway. But at the same time, I knew where the help was coming from.
It's like I couldn't sell the public on your height being 6'6", 6'7" at all, unfortunately. Now.
No.
You spoiled it. It's all good.
Only 6'6" in my dreams. And there's an example, right? And that one's awfully close, but goodness me. David Milwaukee, he's saying my bad, and I'm okay with him blocking that shot because he's making a statement. No easy buckets for the big fella inside.
Just that presence alone will make these guys think about it later on.
And this is good defense right here. Maintain your verticality. Let the big fella come over and protect the rim for you.
Sure. See, shot will count for Degenhardt. Back comes E.J. Harkless and company.
Milwaukee hasn't scored a lot, but he's controlled the game at points today with his defensive presence.
It's been the case. Hall, that shot. Porsche deflected in the way. A nice job by Smith. Milwaukee into the key. A little touch. That one won't drop either. Abo with the defensive rebound. Back comes Boise State looking to push. Good transition defense, though, from UNLV. Rice. Oh, no! Flush. Yes. Take that.
What a pass by Max Rice. Posting up. He sees the cutter coming, puts it on a dime. And Mr. Smith knows what to do with it.
Abo tried attacking in the first half with no success. Smith did just there. But still only a 4-point lead for Boise State. They cannot shake loose of UNLV. Runner Rebels, a little bit of an underdog in this contest. Harkless with the shot clock winding down. That was a bad possession there for UNLV and a shot clock violation, another turnover.
You see the results, but you want to talk about Max Rice? Look at this pass right there. And Najee Smith. What are we talking about? A flush. You kidding me? What a pass, Max Rice. That's the thing that sets the whole thing up. Takes his, he drives the lane, doesn't have it, turns around, takes this little Barkley dribble where he's posting up as a guard, lets guys run around, and Najee Smith knows what to do with it.
So the stat line from so far, 9 points. Abo trying to go baseline, and he rode the baseline. It'll be a turnover for Boise State. It's an unfortunate bounce for him, but nevertheless, Boise State has the lead, and you see Najee Smith right there putting it down for the hometown faithful. Boise State with a 4-point lead at 42-38. From Tennessee, have you ever driven a NASCAR?
I have not, but quick story. When I was in high school, we played in a tournament in Bristol.
16 minutes, it could be longer.
That's true, but you got to make the game about the game, right? But we traveled to away games in a shorter school bus.
Yeah.
So we went to Bristol, and my assistant coach for my high school team got really fired up, and he stopped the whole Christmas line because there were Christmas lights in the middle, and we took it up on the bank there at Bristol, almost flipped the bus.
Oh my, E.J. Harkless straight to the cup for two.
So here's the issue when you're pressing. What you do is sometimes you open up the floor for a guy like Harkless who can really score.
Yeah.
So when Boise State is really collapsed in, they're good. And Degenhardt, how good was that? Shot fake. He shoots it so well that he's able to put it on the deck and finish.
Not so easy, especially when you're at that size at 6'7", but Degenhardt making it look a little easy. 9 points so far for Tyson, 4 of 7 from the field. Hall bodied off a little bit. Najee Smith trying to punish, but Hall counters.
My goodness, Keyshawn Hall. Grown man move for the young fella. Drives left, finishes right.
Smith. Bad pass, though, picked off by Harkless. Trying to tie this game up. Webster thinking about the lead. No. Had a clean look from the right wing. Back comes Max Rice and company.
A little shocked right there. You had a two-man game.
Yeah.
Degenhardt could have come over, set a little drag screen. You have the guy who's scoring the best for you right now with the guy setting a screen who can score in a lot of different ways. Flow right into that ball screen.
Tough contested shot there. That's good defense.
Really good defense.
Waco. Back comes Webster. Largest lead of this game for Boise State was a mere 6 points. 7 for UNLV earlier on. Hall, he can shoot it from outside. Southpaw working through some traffic, can't complete the act though.
$1 million move, $2 finish, but regardless, the fact that Hall was able to get there with help side coming over and shake the second guy too, a lot of skill with that young man.
Degenhart left alone for three. That one's badly missed. Fans are ready to get on their feet.
Yeah, this building is waiting to explode. It's had that feel since about 8 minutes in the first half. Just waiting for the Broncos to get on a run.
And make no mistake, they were ready to get after it early on in this contest. McCabe pulls the trigger, no good. Smith with the rebound for Boise State. Back comes Max Rice. He's got 12 so far. 4 of 8 from the field, averaging about 13.5 per clip. Degenhart expecting a double team to come. Iwako strips it away for a brief moment. Abo, bad pass, volleyed around. Nice job on McCabe.
But here's the thing, Degenhart gets the ball in, everybody stands still. There's no movement. So the defense just sits in his lap, and if he doesn't make a move quickly, everybody knows where the ball's going up.
Under 13 minutes to play in regulation here. This means a ton for Boise State. If they have any ideas of catching San Diego State as the top team in the Mountain West Conference, those two teams will collide at the final game of the regular season. Harkless into the key. No shooter's touch there. Doesn't fall. Back comes Rice.
Great defense by Abo right there.
Bodies colliding underneath. Officials say play on, fellas.
They have a mismatch. Have to be careful and know where the help's going to come from. Doesn't matter. Oh, my goodness. The scoop.
Harkless draws a ton of body contact offensively. Try to draw a charge there. Officials don't even blow the whistle. Nice play by Smith.
My goodness. I don't know how he got that ball up around the rim.
It's the second time tonight he's made a heavily contested shot. Harkless trying to weave through some traffic. No way. Here comes Shaver on the takeaway. Marcus, nice hesitation. Move goes up. Can't complete the feet. Abo outside. Smith in good ball movement here. Shaver, extra pass. Abo dumps it down. Unselfish basketball for Boise State, but a nice steal for McCabe. Good defense for UNLV.
Communication really good. This game is flying. McCabe, who's shooting it better.
Good ball fake from McCabe. He rips up some twine.
Coach Leon Rice not thrilled with the officiating. Thought it was a foul. I like that possession for Boise State, just not able to finish. Problem is, you don't knock in your bunnies against the UNLV team. They're off and running. Mr. McCabe caps off the possession. Deep. Take your time. Knock it through, young fella. UNLV down 1. It hasn't been a high-scoring affair, to say the least, David, but a lot of that is because Boise State has been pretty stagnant with the basketball. Whenever they're making post entries, and you're going to see it right here, Max Wright passes the ball into Degenhart. Look at everybody around. 23, Najee Smith walks down to the opposite block. That's supposed to be a hard cut. You have to hit that cut fast to put pressure on the defense. Look, now the defense sits in. No movement. Guys aren't open. Everything's collapsed in. There's no rhythm. There's no timing. And it turns into an ugly possession because guys aren't cutting and moving. And that's been the problem today with Boise State's offense.
Static and stuck, but not confined at all. You saw it right there in that sequence where you spotted a couple different things. But the one thing it felt like was Degenhart was expecting a double team to come and it never did.
But there's a lot to be said there. And he's taking a little bit too long to make his decision to go. I mean, there's one thing to be said about, you know, reading the defense, seeing who's going to come, but they haven't double teamed the big fella all night. You just go ahead and make a move.
Boise State making some adjustments here as Whiting's back in the contest along with Milner. Rice, good hesitation move with the ball fake, lets it fly.
I love it, a little roll replace, put Max Rice down on the block, pick and roll action. He comes up and knocks it through. Excellent offensive set coming after a timeout.
Just the fourth three-pointer that Boise State has hit tonight. They've hit 8 or more threes on 13 different occasions this year. Not looking for a ton of it tonight. McCabe trying to attack Milner strips that away. Webster trying to walk that sideline, can't keep possession. That's a turnover for UNLV. However, Max Rice doing his thing offensively. A lot of what he did in the first half, trying to carry it over here into the second half. He's got 15 to pace the way. Max Rice and company on their way. Boise State with a 4-point lead. Boise State has 8 assists on 16 made baskets so far. One of them coming off the right hand of Max Rice. Rice has gotten himself open a few times differently, has he, Terrence?
Yeah, he certainly has. And Leon Rice, head coach, does a nice job putting pressure on that bottom guy. And you create a late closeout. Jordan McCabe, he's got to stay there for the roll guy. That gives Max Rice that extra half second. Little pump fake and go ahead and get busy, young man. Max Rice, man, he can really shoot the basketball when he's got his feet set. 15 points and 7 boards today. He's been outstanding.
Rice and the players took full advantage of the coaches during shoot-around today, beating them in half-court shots. As Leon Rice and his entire coaching staff fell to defeat. As all the scholarship players hitting half-court shots before they were finishing up their shoot-around.
Awesome. It was an awesome shoot-around to watch. I've been able to see upwards of about, I want to say, 100 shoot-arounds between different teams. Done about 50 games this season. And there was a tone of seriousness to them, but there was also the ability to know, time and place to where, like, hey, we need to focus in for a second, but we can also have fun and be part of the, kind of the brotherhood of Boise State, if you will. The West Coast brotherhood, if you will.
Whiting on that shot. He was late on it. Tough contested, but back comes UNLV. Trailing just by 4. In large part because of what they have done in the key. That shot, Iwako thought it was partially deflected because of a foul. But UNLV so far in this contest, giving away extra possession after extra possession.
Oh, Mr. Whiting. Nice hesitation. Got the defense on his back. Little hesitation and finish, and I interrupted you, and I'm sorry.
All good.
I love a good move, man. That was great. The freshman, he's an older freshman, obviously, but he gets there. He sees the help doesn't come over. They're worried about all the other scores, and he can take advantage.
Johnson for 3. Got it.
Come on.
Now, that's got to irk Leon Rice, though, because he was left all by his lonesome, and he had plenty of airspace.
Johnson's played well, knocked down some shots. Not the biggest guy on the floor, but making a big impact. Whiting's come in and giving good minutes.
Whiting, Milner, good screen.
Love it. Whiting doing a nice job in pick and roll situations, taking his time. Look at the patience, the hesitation. Man, that's a big time move. And on the other end, Johnson said, I have to get a little revenge. Ball moves, flare screen, feet set, knocked down.
It's reminiscent of what you said earlier. Don't go behind the screen.
Well, it's hard because you want to protect the bucket. There's been a couple of times Boise State's gone over top, UNLV's curled, and sometimes you're going to give up a layup. But that's all scouting report defense when you're playing against that wheel offense, if you will.
Rice thought about dumping it down to Milner, but lost the handle to behind the back feet. Doesn't matter, though. There's the flush.
Come on, Mr. Milner. Excellent seal on the post by the big fella. There's a reason he shot 71% from the field at his junior college. I mean, a guy that knows where he's at, does his early work, hits the flush.
5-point lead for Boise State. Harkless trying to get off tonight, but EJ just can't find the mark. That ball riding over the backboard. The entire bench of UNLV thought that was touched by a Boise State Bronco, but the officials on the opposite side say no. Broncos with possession.
The seal, the dribble, the flush. Come on. Mr. Milner acting up.
EJ Harkless well off his pace so far, averaging about 18 points a game this season, has 8 tonight. We bring that up because of a couple of different reasons. One is the team's leading scorer, but Terrence, we look at Mountain West Player of the Year candidates. A couple of them showcased here tonight. I'll put you on the spot. Who do you like amongst these 5, 6?
I mean, right now, I feel like Keenan Blackshear, because of how many different ways he can hurt you, and Nevada being so good this season.
He just passes, rebounds, scores it, does so many different things. But Matt Bradley on a San Diego State team that really defends, he's their go-to guy. And right now, being the best player on the best team according to their record, I mean, you have to give that some consideration. But Jalen House, huge. Jamal Mashburn Jr. has been electric all season long, leads this league in scoring. I mean, just a lot of individual talent in this league.
UNLV trying to throw a little handcuff here, mixing up some pressure. Not a whole lot.
What a luxury it is if your team's getting pressure to be able to throw it to Degenhart, and settle your guys down.
Degenhart trying to split two defenders. A teardrop by arcing off window.
My goodness. A ball fake. And you're not going to dunk on Milwaukee, but you're going to have to put it over him. A little kiss, if you will.
Degenhart finally in double-digit scoring. Boise State as a club has 5 players this year that are in double digits, but just 3 here tonight. The attack mode on the other side of things, Noel, he's fouled in the act of shooting, so a couple free throws heading his way.
How about Degenhart? Gets the ball on the wing, pump fake, or excuse me, not a pump fake, an overcommit, but look at this. The teardrop. Big time finish.
Yeah, Milwaukee checks in at 6'10".
Kind of waiting for Degenhart to get going, but he's still been solid. 11 points, not rebounding all that great, but boxing out his guy. He's a nice player, knows who he is. I think that's a big thing. A lot of times you get guys in college that want to overextend themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Degenhart's not one of those guys. He knows he's got to win the game on the floor. And he's going to be able to finish over top with some more athletic guys like Milwaukee because of that shot right there.
It's almost like he doesn't read his own press, which is a problem at times for certain players.
It's true.
UNLV trying to get this game even tighter in the closing minutes.
He's a big dude. I mean, he's not that tall, but like really broad shoulders. Skilled big guys right now. Talked to a head coach. He said your most important positions on the floor are your 1 and your 4. Degenhart, Shaver. I mean, I love having those two come tournament time because of that.
Shaver pulls up. That's a 2. Stuck the landing anyway. It's a 7-point lead for Boise State. It's their largest lead of the night.
Abo has done a terrific job on Harkless, making everything difficult.
Johnson trying to attack Rice. Nice recovery.
Come on, Max Rice. Got beat, but made up for it. Nice block coming from behind. Good curl cut, though. You hit a couple shots, you got a curl, they're going to follow you. Max Rice, though, not only did he block it, let him know about it. Get that thing out of my house.
Harkless again. A little touch foul. It's going to be called against Abo. And for as good as UNLV has played tonight, not perfect, giving away a few possessions, but they've had such a tough time playing at Boise. All time 2-10 on the road against the Boise State Broncos.
Taking a look at Abo, I love that young man's potential defensively. Milwaukee, I mean, he just decided, hey, I'm the biggest, most athletic dude here. I'm going to go ahead and finish, but Abo has been terrific. 6'7", 220. What a pass.
Milner got the low to the jam. Wasn't on the initial lob, but collected himself and pounded it home.
Why 2 hands when you can use 1?
At the other way, Gilbert's shot's rejected by the big man as well.
Mr. Milner catches it. This is a nice job, Shaver. Bit pass and pitch. Milner doesn't like the right side. I'm going to use the left. Little lob pass, dribble, flush.
It's a great look from our crew here tonight in Boise, Idaho. Got cameras everywhere inside ExtraMile Arena. McCabe way short on that. He'll be serenaded with a little air ball from the hometown faithful inside the arena. Shaver got into some trouble. Ball's on the ground. Webster digs it out. Or I beg your pardon, that was Johnson. Harkless back the other way. He'll take a spill. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I agree with that call.
I don't love it. I thought Abo did a nice job getting out in front and playing with his chest.
And for Abo, that's his 4th personal foul.
See it, Harkless staying aggressive, little in and out. I'm not really sure what he's supposed to do there. He has done such a terrific job of staying in front of E.J. Harkless. He's going to get a breather. But 6'7", 220 pounds, so physically strong, and he moves his feet so well. I mean, you have to love what he's able to do there. I thought that was a carry.
Harkless trying to draw some contact with Kobe Young draped all over his back. Shot won't fall, but 2 free throws to Harkless.
That's what Harkless does better than anybody in this league. He gets a guy on his back and he slows down.
Yeah.
Right? And then guys are off balance. Kobe Young, he's an excellent athlete, but he's a younger player guarding an older guy. That move right there by Harkless, it's going to work in the church league when he's 50. Get in front and hold him off. You'll be able to finish.
It's one of the things that James Harden does so well. Six-point deficit for UNLV. One has to wonder what Kevin Kruger has up his sleeve tonight for the Runner Rebels. Came into this contest as about 7.5-point underdogs.
After the first half, I thought Boise State really gathered their rhythm, but the first 4 minutes of the second, I mean, got some tough buckets around the rim, forced some turnovers. They're very much in this ball game.
Shaver lines it up straight away, a little bit too strong on it. Johnson tried to run, but could not pick it up in time, so everyone gets back for Boise State as we're under 5 minutes to play in regulation. Harkless trying to attack again with his right hand. Muwaka there. Harkless also climbs up. Shaver swiped it away, but no, he got the left arm as well against Harkless, and 2 more free throws heading to EJ's way.
This game's starting to turn a little bit more like we thought it would. UNLV opening that floor, just making this game a little dirty, attacking the offensive glass. When I say dirty, I don't mean dirty as in a dirty play. I mean not necessarily the most scripted, if you will. Not a whole lot of set play calls. Harkless getting the ball kind of in a semi-break, and that's when he can attack early in the clock. And he gets to the free throw line as good or better than anybody in this league.
And for E.J. Harkless hitting that free throw, he's got 10 points. He's now finally the 2nd player for UNLV in double-digit scoring tonight. But look at what he has done over the last 5 games. He's carved up the competition, but not so much here tonight.
That's right, and he's had to deal with Abo on the offensive end. I mean, you know, how often in this league are you going to, I mean, you are going to see guys with that body size, but man, he has been terrific defensively.
Broncos have hit 5 of the last 6 shots, while UNLV has gone the other way, just 1 of 7. However, it's just a 4-point lead for Boise State. It has not been easy for the Broncos on their home court. Shaver trying to elude McCabe. He goes up, spirited move, and he got 2 more.
But here's the difference. First half, they were trying to do that on the initial dribble up. Now, that's the second side offense. It's so much more difficult to guard because guys are trying to catch up with their man away from the basketball. Shaver taking full advantage.
Ooh, Webster for 3. That one is pure.
Webster.
Catch, shoot, drilled it.
Early in the clock, too.
He had 12 points tonight against San Jose State in 32 minutes worth of action. Tonight, he's got 9. Efficiency tonight has not been great for UNLV, but they've stuck with it. Dagenhardt's shot was blocked. The recovery, though, from Najee Smith.
How athletic was that move? Caught it, went straight up with it, finishes with 2 hands.
And on the other side of things, you have to feel bad for Milwaukee. Played great defense there, just loose change picked up. Harkless with a hand in his face, didn't matter.
And he points down at the camera and says, "I'm here, sir." Not going anywhere. E.J. Harkless. Contested.
Harkless now with 14. 2-point lead.
He saved it all for the second half.
We're coming right down the wire here in the closing minutes of this contest. Shaver back the other way. I'll tell you what, is that goaltending? That was the case. Oh, Milwaukee there called for the goaltend. Tell you what, though, Najee Smith doing his part for Boise State. trying to get a little bit of space. UNLV not letting them go quietly into the good night. 4-point lead for Boise State at 65-61. Heck of a finish coming up. It's like boxing, Terrence. All about the body shots here tonight for Boise State. What have they done right inside?
Well, 34 points in the paint, that's huge. And they made a concerted effort to attack the rim, and in large part because UNLV, they're not coming over to help except for Milwaukee, who's blocked 4 shots. Outside of that, they have continuously attacked the rim and done so at a high level simply because help side's coming over a little bit late, if at all. And that's part of the game plan because Boise State shoots the ball so well from 3. So you take away the 3, you have to guard well individually. Boise State knows that, attacks the rim, 34 in the paint. That's been the difference so far in this ball game and why they have a 4-point lead.
Drastically different outcome here tonight in terms of separation between the two squads. When they met earlier this season on January the 11th, Boise State took it to UNLV.
Shot the lights out.
Yeah.
And that's the result today, right? Like, that's why Boise State has been so good in the paint, because UNLV is staying out on shooters and saying, hey, you're going to beat us from 2.
Yeah.
So that's a concerted effort by Kevin Kruger and his staff to take away the 3 ball. We're not getting beat by 14 threes again.
Shabuzo Abo has fouled out.
Wow, that's a big blow, especially here coming down to the end, and a closer in E.J. Harkless who can really score it. Who's going to guard that man now?
Yeah, drastically different. This is a 10-point lead for Boise State, but not the case at all. And Harkless going to work here in the closing minutes of this contest.
And Shabuzo Abo, like 2 points, 4 boards, but that's not his impact on the game.
Right.
His impact was making it really difficult on that man right there shooting free throws. E.J. Harkless. There has been nothing easy for him all day long.
Discussed it with himself, missing that free throw. So wasted chance here for UNLV. Down by just 4, but Abo is now out. He's fouled out. Whiting in for him. So Whiting on the court with Smith, Dagenhart, Rice, and Shaver. Rice trying to get some separation against McCabe, who's harassing him. 5 inches on him. Rice trying to make him pay now.
That's great defense by McCabe right there. Getting over in front of Rice and using his chest at the free throw line as opposed to waiting till he gets around the block area.
Webster, Milwaukee, the lob!
My goodness. Webster, perfect pass, Milwaukee. Webster, you throw it up, Milwaukee throws it down.
A perfect reward for Milwaukee, who's played great basketball tonight, especially in the defensive end. Things have quieted down inside ExtraMile Arena. Dagenhart, a little body contact. Noel trying to draw it. Rice, did he travel? Apparently not.
What a ball fake.
Dagenhart on the lob. Contested, missed the first one. All kinds of congestion in the key.
A little pick and roll action. Webster and the big fella. Excellent move. Good screen is set, and a flush happens. Milwaukee has just impacts the game with his size and athleticism. That's a big-time finish from a big-time athlete. And that pass couldn't have been a whole lot more, or a whole lot better than what that was.
So Milwaukee picks up his 3rd personal foul. UNLV trying to snap a 6-game losing streak to these Boise State Broncos. And I'll tell you what, they've given themselves more than a puncher's chance here tonight.
Well, I mean, Kruger has coached a really good game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's forcing Boise State to play one-on-one. They're not helping. They're doing a lot of different things. I mean, it's in his blood, right?
Yeah.
So it's a guy that really took advantage of, hey, we're not going to get beat from 3. So we're going to make Boise State a team that we feel like we're more athletic than finish around the bucket.
Boise State last season won the conference title by going 15-3. They win here tonight. They're on pace to duplicate that feat. They have 4 more games after tonight's affair, but San Diego State, as we mentioned, is on the horizon for Kevin Kruger and company, and they'll have to do their work inside the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Look, no help coming. You got to make a play individually.
Shaver's step back. Degenhart climbs the ladder, though. And there's going to be a foul underneath. Degenhart wants the basket to count, though. Let's see the officials get together here.
And I'm not exactly sure what the foul call is. Oh, you know what it might be? Oh, it goes up. Oh, you know what? It might have been a flop call on the initial defensive possession. Yeah, so we're going to have a flop on Harkless, who tries to draw a foul. And it's a class. Let's see.
But here's the part, though, is that whistle came awfully late. It came after Degenhart put the ball through the cylinder.
Well, they're letting the play go through typically whenever they do make that flop call.
But if you do that, why wouldn't you count the basket?
That's an interesting point. And that's a good flop call right there. It should have happened earlier.
Right. If you let them play on, which they did, the whistle blew when Degenhart took the shot. We'll remember that one. Rice. Wow. Ooh, that's tough.
Man, he has hit some tough ones today. Right in that 8 to 9 foot range. That's one of the hardest shots in basketball on that baseline.
And the people of Boise are getting into it. They know it's coming down to crunch time.
75 seconds to play in a thriller. Smith all over Harkless. John at him, too. McCabe with the three on the way. That one might have been blocked by Shaver. Back comes Boise State. UNLV does not need a foul here, but Webster trying to pick things up and steal a ball away. That's not going to be the case, and that's a foul against Webster.
Max Rice has showed how he can score in so many different ways. This is not an easy shot. But look at the pace he plays with. He's never in a rush.
Yeah.
Coach's kid. Fundamental. Little float.
Does a lot of things.
17 points on 11 shots.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's efficient.
Absolutely it is.
Shaver this season, 75% at the charity stripe. In fact, Boise State as a club, they take care of business from the line, 74% as a team. And it hits the first of an important two. Boise State has 2 timeouts remaining. UNLV the same.
I didn't love that foul by UNLV. Why would you? Kevin Kruger is not happy right now with the officiating. If you're at UNLV, you don't have to foul at this point in the game. Down 4. There's still time on the clock. There's still a differential. Play it out. You've been playing pretty well. But Max Rice has been playing better, especially scoring the basketball at so many different levels. He loves the mid-range, a little hook shot, a little floater. He's knocked down a couple of threes, too. David, I mean, this dude can play. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what cute phrase I need to say in order to talk about Max Rice and how efficient he's been tonight. Got the hair and everything. Look at that. I'm insanely jealous.
And he showed up and showed out tonight.
He's been good. I mean, just scoring in so many different spots. I mean, the fact that he can drive, if he gets cut off, all he has to do is turn around and have this little Barkley post up and then still find ways to score. Really difficult to guard at 6'5". And the people here in Boise are fired up.
Well, we got the student body section on the east side of the arena. The Blue Collar Club on the west side. McCabe here. Harkless, hand in his face, tough contested three, never had a chance. McCabe again hurried that shot and trailed it. Wow.
Huge shot. Jordan McCabe.
Deficit is 3. They don't need a foul. Shot clock, game clock differentials about 12 and a half seconds.
One possession ball game. I love that set coming out of a timeout. Kind of a pistol action where it comes back and EJ gets a screen. Harkless not able to make it fall through. The extra effort, though. Boise really good.
And Boise State getting outworked on the glass tonight. The differential for UNLV is +1. Shaver with 5 to go in the shot clock, looking to attack. Whistle before the shot occurred. It will not count. Fouls against McCabe. That's his 4th. So how about this, though? UNLV has given away the extra possessions, but they've outworked Boise State in that rebounding column. Boise State's the best team in the Mountain West Conference at +5 in the rebounding margin, but not tonight.
UNLV's competing. I mean, I love the effort that they've shown. Just you have older guards that can make plays happen, that are reliable at the end of the game, like Shaver is. You know he's going to be able to knock down free throws. Kevin Kruger beside himself over the last 3 to 4 minutes.
So now, at least for Boise State, it's a 2-possession game. Shaver trying to make it a 5-point lead and does.
Got to make something happen quick. Quick drag screen. Get busy if you're Harkless.
McCabe with some body contact. Wanted to get it back. Did not. Oh, my. A pocket three on the way. And Noel has played lights out tonight. Keeps them within range.
Man, it just got interesting.
Woo!
I love it, though. Harkless hits McCabe on a back door. McCabe's a terrific passer. Noel, he shot the ball well tonight. I mean, the move to know that McCabe loves to go baseline and then you're having to reposition to get to that corner. Shane Noel, those field goals have all come from beyond the arc. I mean, he shot the ball well tonight, but his being cognizant of where the play is going and developing, he gets down to that corner and knocks it through.
That is a monster three for Noel. The unfortunate thing for UNLV is you look at the score and you think, wow, they've given the ball away a boatload to Boise State here tonight. You look at the turnovers, 15 of them, and they only have 2 players in double-digit scoring, and yet they're still only down by 2.
Well, they've kept it at a certain pace, and the fact that they've battled so consistently, especially on the boards, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You're playing on the boards against a Boise State team that dominates that part of the game. There want-tos there. It's just you got to find a way right now to get a steal and a stop. Or a steal or a stop, excuse me. Find a way to finish.
Terrence and I will hang out with you in a couple days from now. Boise State will be taking on New Mexico here at ExtraMile Arena. And for UNLV, they'll return home to Sin City. They'll take on Air Force. They have 3 games after tonight where Boise State has 4. Hard to believe, but
happened quick.
Yeah. Games start, games end. All of a sudden, you got brackets all across the country waiting to be filled out. And here we go with the final 8 seconds. Degenhart can move that baseline. Here comes the quick foul, I'd imagine. No, it's not the case. Whiting's got it at a half court. He'll try to dribble this thing out. And the whistle comes, and we don't hear it.
He didn't touch it. That's the interesting thing about this. So we got a foul call from the other side of the court. But I didn't think Harkless even got a hold of it.
Not even close.
He didn't even get touched.
You know, it's...
So here's what's going to happen. The ref's going to go over to the monitor, and he's going to see, oh, man, I missed that call. How can I fix it? That's poor job of that official. There's a ref right in front of the play. You don't have to make that call from the other side of the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best thing to do is let your teammate do his job.
Which is fascinating because they swallowed their whistle for the majority of this contest.
It's been a very physical basketball game. So he realizes it's no foul call. Where I think Leon Rice is arguing for a clear path. But look at the referee on the opposite side. He's got a referee right beside him. Okay, so excuse me. Maybe we can rewind that. So we have misspoken. We're looking at the wrong play. So if we can go and have another replay, and I'm sorry for putting the guys back in the truck in a bad spot right now. I'm just going to apologize beforehand. But the foul wasn't on the ball handler. It was on Shaver, who was at the middle of the court.
Right. And that's going to be the guy taking the free throws here to seal the deal for Boise State. Keep in mind, it's only a 2-point lead, so he needs both of these. And otherwise, UNLV will have a shot here with the final 3.1. Shaver tonight is now 7 of 7 at the free throw line.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Watch 10 in the middle of the floor. That's where Harkless, that's the foul call. So I am completely misspoken, and I want to apologize openly to this official.
It's noted. It's noted. It's on the record.
Well, I'm sure he'll hear it. But regardless, the fact that it was not a basketball play, that's what Leon Rice was arguing about.
Ball game.
I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong.
It's fine. Terrence Oglesby is on the record,
Yes,
acknowledging it.
My wife will attest to that. I'm wrong a lot in my house.
Hey, Marcus Shaver, he's right tonight.
That's
8 for 8 at the free throw line. He's got 19 points to lead everybody.
He's been good.
And he just sealed the deal for Boise State. Outside of a miracle 3 plus a foul, Boise State will win their 7th straight against UNLV. And while we got a moment, big thanks to our entire crew.
Oh, great
Jason
job.
Lewis, the entire gang here in Boise, Idaho. Could not do without you guys. Done it all season long for Fox. Appreciate the support, fellas.
They've done a nice job today. Look at that hat. You kidding me right now? My man's got beads, a hat, part of the Blue Collar Club.
Yeah, what is it? We had burritos here tonight.
Oh, come on, man. We got the
Killer Bees.
We're in Boise watching basketball. They're selling beers and burritos, watching the Broncos. That's not a starting five. I don't know what is. Been a fun contest to call.
Final 3.1. Here's Harkless. Everyone will lay back. Harkless from half court. All cosmetic, and it won't even matter. For as good as they were tonight, UNLV gave their best shot to Boise State. But the Broncos, like they have been as champs, have punched, countered, and they finally prevailed tonight, beating UNLV 73-69.
7 in a row for Boise State, playing really good basketball and had to do it in a different way tonight. Not moving the ball, attacking the rim, finishing. Points in the paint was huge tonight. 34 for Boise State, showing the versatility in how they can win.
And so with the victory tonight for Boise State, they improved their record overall to 21-6. More importantly, 11-3 in conference play. For UNLV, they fall to 16-11 overall, 5-10 in the Mountain West Conference. But Boise State, they got New Mexico in a few days from now. They're still thinking about those Aztecs right now, who are ranked 21st in the nation.
Getting close. It's a battle for the top in the Mountain West. It has been an electric factory all season long. What a conference. Loves their college basketball, and we do too.
Well, Marcus Shaver led the way with 19 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 8 of 8 at the charity stripe. Tyson Dagenard had 11. Max Rice was 17 of his own. Najee Smith with 13. And Boise State 7 straight over UNLV. Final score again here tonight, 73-69 for Terrence Oglesby and our entire FS1 crew. I'm David Gascon saying so long from Boise on a Sunday night. So long, everybody.